This is why you're failing at getting dates and approaching women. You're going up to women who you're thinking, I'm just gonna take my shot, and you're honestly not having the confidence you need. You gotta stop putting an attachment to the outcome and start building your social skills. When you build your social skills, you will build your confidence and you will build your self-worth. You will eventually become a match for the woman that you desire, but you have to understand that it's all about approaching in a respectful and gentle way. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're approaching somebody who is not interested in you. That is where discernment comes in. Start just by waving, smiling, and saying hello to people throughout your day. You will see how many people are actually receptive towards you.
Nope. That would be a waste of time.
Well, that's just not happening, sweetheart. I mean, men are perfectly fine with approaching women, or at least we would be if the punishment for approaching was so severe that it could literally ruin our lives. I mean, what you're talking about is impossible anyway. There's no such thing as approaching the right way because it doesn't exist. That's why you won't define it properly. Especially when modern women made it no secret that the proud members of the illustrious Bottom 95% Club were effectively the spawns of Satan himself. We're not looking for advice because the majority of men were told to stay away, and the men you actually want have no problem approaching you. Hell, most of the time you'll cut out the middleman and pass the bedroom savings right on down to him. This isn't about a fear of rejection, it's merely self-preservation. A dude has way too much to lose for approaching the wrong woman, so the only safe move is not to approach at all, because your feelings are just another form of bastardized revisionist history, and it's always gonna be our fault for never doing it.
Then you're gonna approach the ones who smile back and say hi back. And that's when you build the conversation. Talk about anything that you want to talk about, things that excite you and interest you, so you're not boring to talk to, or even worse, putting out the energy that you're really nervous and don't know what to do. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to lack confidence. That's how you build your confidence, is getting out there and start making the conversations. Women love to talk. Make her smile, make her laugh, compliment her in a respectful way. Then if you feel like the conversation is going really good, then ask her, can I get your number? I would love to take you on a date sometime.
No.
You know, I would be inclined to agree with you if we weren't living in a time when modern women have been celebrated for having a deeply rooted contempt for men. You see, there's no way to tell if a woman's smiling is supposed to be inviting, or if she's just being friendly, or if we're making her uncomfortable. Same thing for making eye contact. And waving? I mean, woman, come on. If a woman is waving to a guy, it's her having to put in some effort. And modern women made it clear that if she has to put in that much effort to meet a guy, then she might as well be single, because apparently a dude is just supposed to magically know when to approach her. And even then, that poor dude has to traverse an endless minefield of red flags and ick lists just to make her feel safe and wanted. And this was a minefield that you set and could easily traverse yourself by approaching. But that's never gonna happen, because walking up to a dude and talking to him is the same thing as women being stoned to death for wanting bank accounts or something. I mean, sorry sister, you can't change the rules, raise the stakes, and expect us to play the old way. So now you have to play the game you set up. So either start approaching or start adopting some more cats.
Checkmate.
Checkmate. Checkmate.
Dang. When women are equal with men, the birth rate will fall automatically. This is something Isaac Asimov said, because when you tell women that their only purpose, their God-given role, the only meaning that they have, the most important thing they'll ever do is have babies, they'll have, and you keep them out of other spaces, they will have lots of babies, because that is the only way that they can have meaning and fulfillment. They don't have other options, and so they'll have lots of them, because that's their way of feeling like they matter, like they're contributing, and they get good feeling from that because they're, oh, I'm doing what I'm supposed to, right? So they have lots of babies, high birth rates. When women are more equal with men, they have the same opportunities in all of the spaces, business, government, religious leadership even, the birth rate will fall, because women have more fulfillment, more meaning met in these other spaces, so they don't just have to pop out babies.
Women should stay home and make
Babies.
Well, I got me a question for you there, darling. I mean, what's wrong with having kids? I mean, you want to talk purpose in life, that's literally one of the biggest reasons why you're on this planet. You have everything you need to not only get a man in your life, but to also start a family and to keep your legacy. And this just raises the bigger question though. Why is it so important for you to seek fulfillment in the workplace? I mean, let's just think about this here. You're slaving away for a company that doesn't give two craps about you. They don't even know that you exist. They work your fingers to the bone, give you a paycheck that you can barely live on, and you live alone with a cat with no real family to come home to. You're profoundly single, you spend your nights either getting drunk or watching reality television, and the only thing you have to look forward to are your girls' nights where you hang out with women who are happily married with families as you secretly plot to destroy their lives by convincing them the best way to achieve true happiness is to divorce their husbands and break up their families. So if anything, it seems to me like having a whole mess of kids is probably a better way to go. But I get it, if you did that, then you wouldn't be able to brag about only being 2 weeks late with your credit card payment. Totally worth it, am I right?
To feel a sense of self-esteem. And they're also busier, so they're not going to have as many babies because they're busier with other things in their life, which is why powerful people have a vested interest in perpetuating religious ideologies or political ideologies that reinforce the idea that having babies is the most important thing a woman can do. And that is what she should focus on, and she shouldn't let anything else get in the way of that, because they know if they're unable to keep women out of other spaces, they can still try to combat the low birth rate with that kind of messaging so that women will continue to have lots of children in order to feel like they have purpose and that their lives mean something. And this is why when women are equal with men, and you see it in countries around the world and historically, when there's more equality, there's a lower birth rate. When there's less equality, there's a higher birth rate. And some people like it like that.
We've got a conspiracy here. Conspiracy! There's conspirers conspiring in a conspiracy. Conspiracy!
Woman, who's saying that? I mean, who exactly is saying they like living in a country with lower birth rates? I mean, first off, you got it backwards. There are people out there who have vested interest in keeping you single, childless, and insufferable. They want to see you miserable and barren as you continue to push this narrative that women can only feel complete if she's paying taxes and working like a schnook. They tell you the termination of pregnancies is empowering, and they tell young, impressionable women that the best way to fight against the patriarchy is to sell their bodies to the very same men who are somehow also oppressing them. And then to make it worse, the birth rates have declined so much that there simply aren't going to be enough people to continue society itself, which means that we're going to need replacements. So I guess it's a good thing that robotics are pretty much coming to the point where they're going to be able to take over the world. But hey, at least that way we get our Terminator 2 promise fulfilled. So no wonder you're quoting Isaac Asimov. Oh, and for the record, I've never read any of his books, so if I got anything wrong, I sincerely apologize. So don't release the robots on me just yet. I got crap to do tomorrow.
Farewell, dear shithead. Farewell.
I just went down the rabbit hole of red pill content, and it's so crazy because the men who watch red pill content, they all have this same outlook where even if abuse is happening in the relationship, usually they're the abusers, right? That you have to stick around and you're taking the easy way out by getting a divorce. The easy way out. That is the easy way out. And you know, people today, they can't stick it out and be strong and create a marriage that's strong. They can't get through the tough times. The thing they don't understand is this isn't tough times they're putting us through, a lot of these men. It's straight up abuse, okay? There is a difference between going through hard times in a marriage and going through abuse. There's a difference, but these guys who watch the red pill content, they don't understand that. They look at abuse as just going through hard times. No, you're being abusive. There is a huge difference. They don't get it. They don't get it. Just stick it out.
You don't know what words mean, do you?
So in other words, you watched 5 minutes worth of Fresh and Fit podcast, and all of a sudden you're an expert in our spaces, huh? Well, if you're gonna accuse men of being abusers, then you technically have to define that word first. Now, we used to have a concrete definition, but we don't anymore because you and your kind rendered that word to be completely meaningless. Modern wives use the term abuse to describe anything that hurts their fifis. So if a husband isn't willing to allow you to spend his money on crap you don't need, he's financially abusive. If he tells you that he just wants a few hours of peace over the weekend, then he's narcissistically abusive. And if he doesn't fold the towels correctly, then he's weaponizing his incompetence and abusing you mentally. And you say this kind of action is on par with your typical wife beater. And the worst part is you don't even want to hear our side of things. You just want to blame us for your inability to be a good wife or a good person. And you justify all of this by taking out of context clips from videos that don't represent us and just say that we're all evil. Well, that's just fine, sweetheart. Don't worry, all right? You are so emotionally unattractive that none of us will ever come close enough to you to do anything that might be considered abuse anyway. So quit your complaining already.
You're welcome. Hey, you're welcome. Hey, don't mention it. Use that freedom in any way you like.
Whenever a girl tells me that she's dating a guy who doesn't buy her anything and never sends her money, I kind of feel like I have to tell her to walk free, because in the time that you're spending with this man, you could be working 2 jobs, which means you'd have 2 paychecks and way less stress. Like, why are you dating a man that doesn't buy you anything? In my opinion, if a man doesn't buy you anything, he hates you. He hates you, because I've never met the man who actually likes me who doesn't buy me stuff. And I'm not talking about dinner, and I'm not talking about lunch and all that stuff. I'm talking about things that only you benefit from. A gift is only something you benefit from. If he's like, oh, let's go do this activity together, that's not a gift, that's a date. So I'm talking about like nails, clothes, something like, and if you let me find out you're sleeping with that man consistently and he's not buying you anything. What? Like, girl, you must be crazy. No man of mine. No man of mine. Like, where are we even together? You want me to cook for you and you don't buy me anything? Like, surely you must be out of your mind. Please. Like, I don't even... Girl, leave him. Immediately. Quickly.
Give me some money. Give me some money.
Woman, you're balding, you're acting entitled, and you're accusing us of hating you because we're not buying you presents. You act like an insufferable brat, and then you wonder why we're not getting you these things. Well, the answer couldn't be more simple. You're not worth them. You're not even worth the effort of the $2 it would cost to get you a cup of coffee from a vending machine at a decrepit bus station. Why should men buy you anything when you're acting like you deserve it this much? And what exactly is this man gonna get in return for his trouble? What are you going to do after you get the gifts? Are you buying him presents, or are you showing him any form of appreciation? Oh, of course not. And that's because you don't see men as people. You see us as nothing more than prize dispensers. But if we're gonna go with that analogy, we're more like the ticket prize machines at the local laser tag joint. Will you get anything from us? I mean, maybe on a rare occasion we might give you something cheap, but the jackpots? That's not happening. We set it up so that it's impossible for you to win, because one look at you and we can tell that giving you the jackpot would be to waste it, because no man is gonna waste such a prize on such an obvious loser. But you know who are winners in my book? The fine members of the bounty board over on Patreon. These are the types of people who don't need prize tickets to get the good stuff. They got the keys to the prize closet, and they're free to help themselves to whatever prize they want. All hail! And it's a way of saying thank you for your support. The 5-part Lock Noir detective saga is free for you to watch on the bounty board over on Patreon at no charge. The link's in the pinned comment down below if you want to watch it. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, and be sure to share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you once again for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.